Good evening. My name is Leo Trias, and I've been teaching and creating ceramics consciously for the last 25 years. I would love to tell you that ceramics are going to save the world, but that's too ambitious, and unfortunately, it's not going to happen. I can't guarantee it. I know I am such a dreamer. There are two major problems, though, that we face as humanity that really bother me, and we know we can do something about them, throw some light on these problems. Number one is plastic waste in the world oceans. This article in Bloomberg shows how by the year 2030, if we continue at this pace, the oceans will have double the plastic, just in 10 years from now. We cannot let that happen. Second big problem is this article from the WHO. It predicts that by the year 2030 as well, that same year, 350 million people in this world will suffer from depression. I think that number is outstanding, it's too sad, and we need to do something about it. These two problems are also linked in a way. Why is that we pollute so much? Why is that we consume so much plastic? I asked an environmentalist, and he told me, Leo, we pollute the planet because we're unhappy. That really shocked me. And then he also told me that the more polluted places in the world are the ones that have more depression cases and schizophrenia. So these two are intrinsically related into a vicious circle that we need to stop. Yeah, I feel like this sometimes, that we mess it up, everything, and we need to go back, right? The title of this series of talks is Control-C, undo. Let's try to go back and fix some of the mistakes that we have made as a species in this planet. Can we really undo some of our things like the abuse of plastics? I'll throw a question out there. Can you replace some of your plastic objects for ceramic ones? Ponder that question and we'll circle back to it later. Ceramic is a fantastic material. It's so fragile that it can break at any moment, but also it could last for 1,000 years. Right now, I would like to tell you a little bit of research I have done, articles I have read, people I have stumbled around in the ceramic world that really fascinate me. I think they can help us, giving us a chance to see this problem in another light. So iron, calcium, magnesium, silicium, silica, and alumina, all these minerals are both in our soils and in our bodies. As Carl Sagan said, we are stardust. We are dust. We're more related to ceramics than we think of. Approximately 100 years ago, plastic companies became in the race. It was the plastic age. And we thought that using plastic was going to be a solution actually for the environment. Back in the days, we thought we're consuming a lot of our natural elements and we need to make our new material. Plastic thought that was really modern. We thought it was fantastic and unbreakable. But very early on, we learned that this was not true. Unfortunately, every piece of plastic ever made in this planet is still here. And that's something that we need to change. Look at this image of a turtle. It's my favorite animal, a sea turtle. The grandfathers of the sea. It makes me so sad to see what we're doing to their home, to our home. So the question is, can we stop this cycle? Are we willing to do something? Can we break the cycle? Can we replace one ceramic object for another one? Can we? I throw the question out there. Please follow my colleague, the potter Lauren Moreta, and her movement called More Clay, Less Plastic. This movement started a few years ago in social media. Now she has 8,000 followers. And Lauren uses this colander as a symbol of her movement. In the past, in Italy, every home had a colander for pasta made out of clay. Right now, unfortunately, we have replaced those by plastics and ceramics. So we need to look at the beauty that is intrinsic in this object and go back, rediscover the beauty of the natural materials, try to get back to them. As an educator, this is very dear to me. Many students have told me, how can we do something? How can we help this planet? And I think following a movement like Lauren's will be a step and one little thing that we can do. Together we can move mountains if we work as a team. Also want to introduce you another colleague of mine, the potter and educator Roberto Lugo. He's a personal hero of mine. Roberto Lugo is an educator and a potter himself in the area of Philadelphia. He had a very poor childhood and he got a scholarship to study art. When he started in college, he put together two of his passions, graffiti art and porcelain. And he created these wonderful pots that immediately caught the attention of the critics, and now he is a rock star in the art world. His pieces are sold for a lot of money and he has a lot of recognition. He's using his fame, though, to help children to be out of the streets, out of the gangs, and he gives them the opportunity to create art. And as he said, he gives them the opportunity to fail by trying to center themselves in the potter wheel. As an educator as well, I want to share that many students tell me, Mr. Lee, ceramics is therapeutic. Ceramics relax me. I feel more calm. I feel more patient. Over and over in the years, I have confirmed this fact, and I know about the therapeutic properties of playing with clay. So I would like to give you a little bit more insight on that. I found this article in the Artsy magazine called Creating Ceramics Can Help Combat Depression. In this article, they discuss the studies of Dr. Joshua Nan. He's an art psychotherapist and a professor in the University of Hong Kong. Mr. Nan's studies are really serious, and he used a group of more than 100 individuals to research what he called CAT, Ceramic Art Therapy. We're pleased to announce that CAT works. CAT has proven to have beneficial effects in people with massive depressive disorders, MDD. So people with MDD has been creating ceramics, and his studies have shown, he published studies in the Journal for Affective Disorders in 2017, and he states that his patients have improved mood, improved overall well-being, and confidence. So creating art will really boost all of well-being overall. He's definitely another hero of mine. This other article sort of rounds up the same idea. Creativity predicts a longer life. This is an article from the Scientific American magazine. And here, a neuroscientist, Mr. James Clear, did studies as well with the field of creativity and art creation. So he states that art creation, people who create art actually live longer and have a better quality of life. How is this possible? Well, he's a neuroscientist, so he draw all this into the connections that we do in our brains when we're creating art. This actually helps us also release anxiety and stress. This other article from The Guardian really caught my attention. Getting closer to our times. Is ceramics relevant in these days, in the hyper-connected days of social media and digital age? It seems so. Some people are finding in the creation of ceramics a little escape, a little refuge, a little moment to get away perhaps from the screens. This is something else I would like to add. When I'm creating ceramics myself, I turn off my phone, I put down the screen for a few hours, and you know what? Nothing happens. Really, the messages will keep falling there, and you will find them later when you turn it on, and nothing was so urgent, really. And I see this little time of disconnecting from the screen and connecting with the earth as a gift, as a blessing, and something that I want to expand and share. I also tell my students, we have this gift, we have these hands that are magnificent tools to create. We have 10 fingers in them. Use them all, please. Use them all, not only two, not only the thumbs. What's happening now then? Are ceramics relevant in the digital era? If you ask me, being the old guy giving the chat today, right? Talk for Youth, and being probably the oldest speaker, I would like to say that yes, in this era, ceramics is still relevant. How can we see this? Look at these superstars, Hollywood stars like Leo DiCaprio and Brad Pitt. They are discovering the fascinating world of ceramics and the joy and beauty of creating ceramics objects. They get together in Brad Pitt's studio every night and work in clay. And this other article from Vogue magazine, it shows the influencer and model Emily Ratajkowski, how she's saying that creating clay for her, it's sort of mindfulness. And Yoga called the article, Pottery is a New Yoga. So I agree with this. I am positive about these trends. I like to call them trendy traditions. We're looking at something so old, but kind of renewing it and making up to the dates, right? Up to these moments. Hopefully these influencers can really do what they do and influence you guys in a positive way. Last, I want to share this piece to say that my thesis is not really new. It's been around for quite a few years. This plate, these ceramic plates, has it embedded and written in there. Yes, you and I are Earth, 1661. Creativity, it's something that we should keep there to our hearts, and we should use for the future to create a more sustainable future. We are all designers of our future. And the bottom line of this talk is that we can really make a happier place, make a cleaner place, if we all want to have that change happen, you know? I'm also a parent. I have two little kids, Mateo and Emilio, and I do want a cleaner and happier place for them, right? So I know that we all together can work for that. And also I want to finally express some gratitude for the ancestors who has passed this technique to us, and we're grateful for having the opportunity to keep working with them. I'm also very proud to be part of this community, the ASF community, which is a community that always supports all the things that we've been talking about these days, right? Gender issues, music, drama, art, human creativity, and of course ceramics, right? So I'm really proud, and thank you for the community for having me with you guys.